All right, good afternoon. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Tuesday, June 30th, 2020, and the time is 12:30. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardi.
Here.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Here.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Here.
Commissioner Vercher.
Here.
Commissioner Wood. Here. 5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business to take up at this time, we'll move on to the appeal portion of the docket. Under the appeal docket this morning, items A through E have all been settled between the property owner and the taxpayer. I will ask anyone who is preparing to testify this morning before the commission to please stand up in your place and be sworn in as a witness.
Same way we've done this before, just want you to stay where you are. I'll indicate to you when I want you to affirm the oath and state your name for the record. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Arthur Laughlin, I do.
Michael Laughlin, I do.
Patrick Matthew, I do. James Makita, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is the Tax Commission's policy to accept all documents into the record that were timely pre-filed in accordance with the Commission's rules and regulations. This will be done at the conclusion of all hearings on today's docket. Accordingly, there is no need to formally offer or introduce the exhibits into the record during your appeal hearing. However, if you intend to object to the submission of any of the opposing parties' exhibits, you must notify the Commission at the start of your appeal hearing. As a result, as a reminder, this is an administrative hearing, and as such, the rules of evidence are relaxed. The Commission is inclined to review and consider all evidence submitted and to accept such evidence into the record. All right, the first item on the appeal docket this morning is item F, the appeal of Mark Mazer versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-028. Ms. Laughlin, will you be here on behalf of Mr. Mazer?
You're over here, sir?
Yeah, please, at
Okay.
that table over there.
Thank you for the opportunity to present this case. Basically, this is an equity argument. We were able to filter out all of the condos in the French Quarter, basically compare by cost per square foot and assessed value, and basically what we submitted was we feel fair and equitable cost per square foot for this condo.
Okay. I reviewed the units in this building at 718, I believe it was 718 Barracks, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
there's more than one, correct?
Yeah, I believe 7 units in the building.
Yes.
The values inside the building itself are all pretty consistent at about $384 a square foot, $384 to $385 a square foot. I am a little concerned about comparing all condo units in the French Quarter to a particular unit because we don't have any evidence to know what those buildings and units compare to other buildings and units. For example, you may live in a condominium building where you have available to you covered parking, rec room, and a gym that you can work out in. The building I live in maybe has has parking, but it's not covered parking, but no other amenities. So my guess is that my unit is going to sell for a lot less than what someone else's unit that has all those amenities.
Correct. I just wanted to correct one thing. That
Sure.
In the building, which is unusual, that the range is from 384 to 547 a square foot.
Wow.
The 2 units at 547. First thing you would expect would be consistency within the building. Okay, and I agree with you. We're getting much better at being able to delineate and filter out condos to get an easier comparison. But when you look at all of the condos in the French Quarter, the majority of the condos in the French Quarter in this particular assessment area don't have parking. They're very similar old converted apartment complexes and old buildings that never had parking. So we just feel like with the size of the survey that we've done and the consistency of the 192 per 42 square foot throughout. We could bring you 500 condos in this particular district and get a much wider range, but the root average is going to be 192.
Yeah, and I need to correct myself. The square foot value the assessor has, on the ones that are appealed, the average is about $409 a square foot. Anyway.
Yeah, and basically it's an equity offer.
Yeah,
That's
I
all we
understand.
have, sir.
All right. Any questions, Ms. Lockwood? Is there anything additional you want to add?
No, exactly. We just feel it's consistent with
I understand.
the order, sir.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from the assessor's office.
Oh, you
Yeah,
leave. I'm sorry.
podium, yeah.
That's right, I got to move for you. Okay.
After reviewing the documents and the appraisal and the other appraisals that came in from the same unit, it appears that the tax commission value at the $320,000 we agreed to.
So you're in agreement with the tax commission staff appraisal?
Yes, we would agree to that.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Mr. Matthew?
Thank you. Patrick Matthew, Louisiana Tax Commission appraiser. Did a personal exterior inspection of the property at 718 Barrett Street, and after doing the market approach, the three sales showed indicated a value of $320,000 for the property with a land value of $45,900 and an improvement value of $274,100.
I'm just taking notes, excuse me. Okay. All right. Any questions, Mr. Matthews? All right, thank you. There's no discussion. I'm prepared to make a motion. I move that we adopt our staff appraisal value, land $45,900, improvements $274,100, for a total value of $320,000.
Second that motion.
Okay. Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. All right, we'll move on to the next item on the docket, the appeal of Richard D. Potter versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-029.
Yeah, it's the same argument.
Same argument.
I don't want to repeat the same thing.
Assessor's office.
On this one also, we are agreeing with the LTC staff appraisal at 235, but it is higher than the BOR value of the 228,200.
So you're obviously happy with the staff appraisal, but happy with the Board of Review value as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Patrick Matthew, Louisiana Tax Commission. Personally did an exterior inspection of the property at 718 Barrack Street, Unit 6. The three sales in my report indicate a value for the property of $235,000 with a land value of $34,700, an improvement value of $200,300.
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Matthews.
I'll make a motion that we concur with the Parish Board of Review value and set the land at $34,700, the improvements at $193,500, for a total value of $228,200.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right, the next item on the docket, the appeal of Deborah Marino versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-060. Again,
Same
Ms.
argument.
Lockwood,
Yeah,
same,
same
we'll
thing.
incorporate your testimony from the first appeal.
Correct.
Assessor's office?
This is gonna be the same with us. We agreed to the LTC value of the 252,000. It is higher than the value of the BOR at the 229,000. So, same.
You like the staff appraisal, but you'll live with the Board of Review. Mr. Matthew?
Yes, sir. Patrick Matthew, Louisiana Tax Commission. Person did an exterior inspection of the property at 718 Baird Street, Unit 3. Three sales in my report indicate a value of the property of $252,000, land value of $34,900, improvement value of $217,100.
I'll make the motion that the staff appraisal supports the Board of Review value. Therefore, land at $34,900, improvements $194,100 for a total value of $229,000.
Let's second that.
That's my motion.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. The next item on the agenda, item J, has been settled.
No, that one's the one
What's
that I
that?
didn't mark it on your sheet. That's the one we're gonna continue to hear.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna hear that one.
We're
It
gonna hear
wasn't
it's not
confirmed
settled?
Yeah.
Tony Seville, am I saying that correctly?
Yeah. Tony
Uh,
Seville.
Oh, I'm
Personnel
sorry,
is-
my sheets were out of order.
So the Lusa settled?
No, DeLuca did not settle.
Are you sure?
It says settled on
settlement.
here.
Look at-
I sent you all an email yesterday. They confirmed that it did not settle.
DeLuca did not.
Did not.
Saw Miller.
Okay, let's back up a second. And the last appeal we heard was Marino. The next item on the agenda is DeLuca.
Correct.
Is that still in controversy? or-
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It is. Okay. All right, and the next item on the agenda that we will hear is the appeal of Cynthia DeLuca versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-104.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Arthur Laughlin, Louisiana Property Tax Consultants. I represent two of the owners of this building. Of the two, Ms. Cindy DeLuca owns one of the units and Mr. Tony Seville owns three. I did a similar analysis, as my father has also mentioned, and the values in the building itself are off. And the city has already, the Orleans Parish has already agreed to settle one of the units, which is for basically a cost of $330 a square foot. And what we've asked and what I've submitted is that we just use that value throughout the whole building for the unit that Ms. DeLuca owns and the two for Mr. Seville.
So tell me what those numbers would be.
Yes, sir.
Now, we're just doing DeLuca, right?
We're just
now.
doing
Currently,
DeLuca,
we're
right?
doing DeLuca just, but for expediency, I would kind of save testimony for the other two. Okay, so there are 9 units in the building, 8 of which are residential condominium units. Each of them has 1 bathroom. All the units were assessed in 2018, and the assessor's values per square foot range over $187. from a low of 283 for one unit to a high of 471. I submitted a table in evidence which compares the assessor's units for the whole building. And we believe that they should be uniform since these are all tiny apartments on Decatur Street that have no parking, they have no amenity. Now, of the four that were appraised by Mr. Matthew at the Tax Commission staff appraiser, his values also range from over $310 within the appraisals for the same units, from a high to 333 to a high, or low of 333 to a high of 664. Now, Unit 5 was settled already by the appraiser's office, and it is a value of $330 a square foot. That's what it reflects.
Now, hold on one second. Which unit settled?
That's Unit 5, sir.
Okay,
It's
that's
gonna be-
Mr. Seville, is that
Yeah,
correct?
docket ending 158.
Okay.
That was settled for a building value of $202,300, which works out to a cost per square foot of $303.
So you're asking for the same,
The same value to be placed across including Mr. Lucas and Mr. Seville's other two units.
right now we're talking about Mr. Luca.
Yes.
So,
And that's 303?
Yeah, earlier you said
Said 330.
330, I apologize.
Okay.
You're correct,
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
But is it fair, I guess there's a difference in square footage, 150 versus 600. Do those values typically fluctuate when you move from that small of a space to that larger space, or
So
would you
our,
typically not downsize, would you typically use the same value in a much larger space?
well, it's, what we've seen, if we take the analysis further, and I already have the evidence that's been submitted to take this analysis further, we're seeing that the assessor's office seems to charge more money or value small kind of pied-à-terre condos at a higher value than more of a functioning condo that you could live in. We're like, these are minuscule studio apartments with barely enough room to change your mind in. And we've noticed, because in another one of the cases, we've seen that people who have full one bedrooms seem to be paid less per square foot. The value seems to be less, which in our case, we think that should be more.
so on Mr. Luca, what is the value you're asking for on that one?
I apologize, Commissioner, I didn't calculate that.
So it's $330 a square foot, is that what
Yes.
you said? Times the square footage?
Yes,
So the unit is 150 square feet, is that correct?
yes, sir.
Times 330?
52,500.
I come up with 49,500.
Plus the land.
Well, that's the total, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the total.
Land and building.
Right, but the building value is the only one in dispute, and that would be 49,000.
So, but what does the 330 represent?
Just the building value itself.
The building value
Yes.
only?
And the comparisons are all a comparison of building values only for the building.
It's a total value of 53,800. And how did you all arrive at the $330 a foot for the building?
So that was the assessor's office for Unit 5. The assessor agreed to value Unit 5 at $330 a square foot. So we want to use that figure to settle. And we also offered to settle all the building for the same value.
So, and again, you can ask this to the assessor's office, but if the assessor's office agreed to settle Mr. Seville ending in 158 for $330 a foot on the building, why was it not able to make an agreement on all the units at $330?
I'm not sure. We have submitted, because I spoke to Mr. Allen and Mr. Crosby at the Tax Commission. We've submitted spreadsheets to the assessor's office to clear the docket as much as possible.
Okay.
And I think they might be busy right now with the timing because their open rolls is about to start.
Okay.
Were there any other units that the assessor was able to settle with, or?
We've settled 2 units so far, and that's it. We have 175 cases this year, and we've settled 2 during the COVID thing, and then we settled 2 prior to that.
How many units are in this?
In this particular building, we've settled 1 out of 5.
And how many units are in the total?
It's a 9-unit building, 1 of them's commercial, 8 of them are residential.
And the other folks have just paid their assessment?
They did not hire us.
All right, I don't want to cut you off, but if you're finished for right
No,
now.
sir, I'm complete.
Let's hear from the assessor's office.
To look at it, we agree with the LTC at the 101, which is higher than the 75. We just feel that there is a bottom minimum that price would bring. So the smaller ones, yeah, they are at a little bit higher value, but in the French Quarter, you got to cap it off somewhere, even at the 150. So that's a discrepancy between that and. Well, if you take the land and improvements, number 5 is actually was settled at $359 a square foot, but it is 3 times the size of it too.
Do you have any knowledge of where the $330 a square foot for the unit that did settle, where that came from?
I do not, sir.
Okay.
That was from Mr. Alvarez. I'm not sure if that was through a tax commission appraisal, if it was appraised or not.
No, the commission appraisal, we'll hear about that in a few minutes, but that value is $101,000. And the board of review upheld the assessor's value, which is $75,000.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a lot more comfortable with facts in front of me and not basing a valuation on a settlement that was made that we really don't know anything about. You know?
Correct.
So, all right, well, let's hear from Mr. Matthew.
All right. Patrick Matthew, Louisiana Tax Commission appraiser. This appraisal is on the property at 1233 Decatur, Unit 3. I did a market approach, and the 3 sales indicated a value of $101,000 for the property. That's with the land of $4,300 and an improvement of $96,700. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Where were your comparables coming from?
They're all within 4 blocks, 3 blocks, and 3 blocks. I do Main, Royal, and Royal. They were all 332 square feet or less. And they ranged from average to excellent condition, so there were adjustments made for condition and things like that. But they were all within 4 or 3 blocks. But to me, the main issue in this one was the size, the 150 square feet. I think that's the reason you're driving such a high price per square foot compared to the next one, which is 600-something square feet. It's a totally different set of comps. I mean, in the case of these, I'm looking at the building, but I'm also looking at each individual unit as they stand by themselves. And if I was comparing or doing an appraisal of, say, Unit 5 that's settled for $300, and my appraised value was $362 a square foot on that one, I wouldn't necessarily use that as a comp, except for it's in the same building. Like you said, it's 300 square, 3 times bigger. It's almost a totally different market. Somebody that's looking for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, or somebody that's looking for essentially just a room with maybe a hot plate and a toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when it comes to comparing the two, I don't think we're necessarily comparing apples to apples, even though they're in the same building. Things such as condition and things like that might come into play, and amenities, but size plays a big issue, and the factor of diminishing return comes into play on that a good bit. So if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Just give me a second, Mr. Matthew.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any questions, Mr. Matthew? Good, all right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'm prepared to make the motion.
Okay,
I would move on docket 1922172-104, that we uphold the border review value, set the land at 430. Excuse me, I'm sorry, 4,300. And the improvement value at 70,700 for a total value of 75,000.
Commissioner Burcher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
yes. All right, the next item on there, item J, Tony Seville, ending in 172-158. That one was settled. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we go on to the next one, item K, the appeal of Tony Seville versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-159. Mr. Lockman?
Arthur Laughlin for Mr. Seville. Just to confirm, we're doing 159, is that correct, sir? Okay.
Yes.
So this is going to be very similar testimony that I gave in the previous, my client, Mr. Seville, has already settled one of his other units in the same building for a lower cost per square foot. This is a different unit he owns in the building. And what we ask is that we agree with a building value based off a cost per square foot similar to that of Unit 5, which is his other one that was settled by the city.
All right, any questions?
The only question I'd have, seems like you're real familiar with it. Why do you think they settled one and not the others? There had to be some dialogue there. What was
Sir,
it?
there was none. We have tried our best to, this season, I think we were all overwhelmed with the amount of appeals and also the amount of appeals and with the restrictions that happened during the COVID with the stay-at-home order, that we submitted, it's just kind of random, the ones that we got settlement offers and the ones that we didn't. We thought this was going to be honest with you, we thought this one was not going to make it to the tax commission because we had settled one of the units in the building. And the other three are all very small units. We thought they would be similar. But even the appraised values vary. Mr. Matthew, and we're not challenging his appraisals, it's just that it just happens that we had the same LTC appraiser come out to do all the units in the building, and there's variance there too. So we're just looking for some type of similar valuation throughout the building for building value.
All right, any more questions? All right, thank you. The assessor's office?
This is basically the same, about the same square footage. So we agreed with the LTC appraisal of the 119 bid is higher than the border review value of the 80,700. So we would be willing to accept, maintain the border review value.
Thank you. Mr. Matthew?
Thank you. The person did an appraisal of 1233 Decatur, Unit 6. This is another small unit, 196 square feet, and those sales indicated a value of the subject of $119,000, with the land at $5,700 and an improvement of $113,300.
Now, this unit is slightly larger than the DeLuca unit. DeLuca unit was
40
150 square feet and 196 square feet.
Correct. The same comps were used for both. And the next one as well.
Any questions?
Motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion on docket number 19-22172-159 to adopt the board of review land value at 5,700, improvements in 75,000, total of 80,700.
Have a second?
I'd second that.
Commissioner Bercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahart.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda, the appeal of Margaret someone help me.
She married Floyd, so she changed her maiden name, so it's Margaret Floyd now.
Margaret Floyd.
Yes.
Versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review. Most importantly, docket number 19-22172-165.
Chairman,
Yes,
skip one.
Skip
Skip another
one?
Tony Seville.
160, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The appeal of Tony Seville versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-160. Clock.
Arthur Laughlin for Mr. Seville. For expediency, it's going to be the similar testimony that we gave before, sir.
Thank you. The assessor's office?
This is basically the same, 195 square foot. We agree with the LTC at 115, but we would be willing to uphold the board of review value at 80,300.
Thank you.
Patrick Matthew, Tax Commission Appraiser. This is appraisal of property 1233 Decatur, Unit 9. The three comps in my appraisal indicate a value of $115,000 with a land value of $5,700 and improvement value of $109,300.
Any questions? Motion? Oh, I can do it.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Mr.
Make a
Manager.
motion on docket number 19-22172-160 that we hold the Board of Review land value at 5,700, improvements at 74,600, for a total of 80,300.
Second.
Commissioner Bercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahart.
Yes. All right. Now we're on to Ms. Floyd. More importantly, docket number 19-22172-165.
Arthur Laughlin, appearing for the owner, Ms. Graziak, now known as Ms. Floyd. Commissioners, what we're not contesting the land value, only the building value. The assessor had it valued at $917,100, which reflected a cost per square foot of around $525.86 per square foot. We did a review of similar sized similar condos in the same area in the same condition. We came up with an average of $303.53 and a median cost per square foot of $302. We're asking that the commission lower the building value of this condominium to match either the average value, which would bring it down to $529,359.31, or the median value of $528,225.
Pick a number.
The median, the lower, the $529. $528,000.
500 and,
$528,225.
and that's for the building?
That's for the building only, sir.
Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. Thank you. Assessor's office?
This is a 1,744 square foot condo French Quarter. Although we agree with the LTC valuation of $1,153,000, we would be willing to accept and uphold the board of review value of $1,012,500.
Thank you. Mr. Matthew?
Thank you. This is a condo at 822 Barrack Street, Unit C. As previously mentioned, 1,744 square feet. 3 sales and my appraisal indicate a value of $1,153,000 with a land value of $95,400 and an improvement value of $1,057,600.
Any questions?
Looks like one of the comps is in the same building.
Let's see, that would be, comp number 2 is in the same building. And I also mentioned too, that the property was purchased in 17 for $1,125,000. And yes, comp 2 is in the same building.
Any other questions?
I'm ready to make a motion.
Yes.
to accept it. In the matter of docket number 1922172-165, I would move that we uphold the parish board of review value, land $95,400, improvements $917,100 for a total fair market value of $1,012,500.
I'll second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahari?
Yes. Item N. The appeal of Richard E. Neal versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-173.
Okay, got it. Okay, Mike Lockman, Louisiana Property Tax Consultants. Mr. Beal has 2 condos in the same building, docket number ending 173, 174. We did the same type of analysis of condos in the neighborhood. And this tiny, tiny little condo in the back of an 1840s renovated building.
Okay, so we're on item ending at 173,
Correct.
which is the 2,332 square foot.
Okay, that's his larger unit. He has 2
Yeah.
units in the building. Let's do the larger
Yeah.
unit first. Basically, the unit was, we requested a value of $192 per square foot. We did a survey of condos in the neighborhood. If you look across the street in the Jack's Brewery, all the condos in there are listed at $70 a square foot. And it's incredulous to the taxpayer that he's paying $244 a square foot for an old converted building on the acre. And that's our presentation.
All right.
And if you want, for expediency, we can do
Well,
the other one.
let's try to do one at a time. if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
As you can tell, I get confused easily, so,
Sure.
let's just do one at a time. Let's hear from the assessor's office.
Sure.
This is another 2330 square foot in the French Quarter. We agree with the LTC appraisal at 665, but it's higher than the board of review value, which we would be willing to uphold at 629,600.
So you're requesting the board of review value, is that correct?
We will do
Mr. Matthew?
This is appraisal of 1231 Decatur Street, Unit E. It's 2332 square feet. 3 sales shown on our report indicate a value of $665,000. With a land value of $59,900, an improvement of $605,100.
Any questions?
Did you have anything that you might know about the Jack's Brewery condos that he mentioned?
All I know about the ones, I had 2 of them that I've also done, deals that I haven't heard yet. And the 2 that I did were 2 penthouses at the top, which were at high dollar amounts. So individual other, outside of that, I'm not sure. And there's a difference in the 2. And different costs for that, but there's only one difference.
All right. Do we have a motion? All right, well, okay. All right, I move that we adopt the parish board of review value and hold that value. Land $59,900, improvements $569,700, for a total value of $629,600.
Second.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes. The next item on the docket, the appeal of Richard Beal versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-174.
Yes, this is his second condo in the same building. It's a very tiny condo, and it's assessed at $559.82 a square foot, which is approximately 5 times the Jack's Brewery condos, which is incredulous to the taxpayer. But that's our case.
And you're asking for what value?
We're asking for a value of $192 per square foot.
And that's for the building, is that correct?
That's for the building only.
Building only, okay. The assessor's office?
It's another small unit, 219 square foot. We had it valued at $128,200, which was upheld by the Board of Review. And the assessor's office sent a letter attempting to settle for total land and improvements at $118,000. So it's $5,600 for the land, $112,400 for the building.
So you're in agreement with the LTC staff appraisal, is that correct? Is that what you, I'm not putting words in your mouth, I just want to,
Yes, that's what.
it's $118,000 is the
Correct.
value, okay.
We attempt to sell it at that amount.
Mr. Matthew?
Thank you. This is appraisal of 1231 Decatur Unit F, a small unit containing 219 square feet. 3 sales in our report indicate a value of $118,000 with land of $5,600 and an improvement value of $112,400.
Any questions? Mr. Bershon?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would move on docket 19-22172-174 that we set the value at the LTC value of $118,000, broken out as land at $5,600, improvement value of $112,400.
Let's second that.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes. Next item on the docket, the appeal of Bordoin Investment Pro versus Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-185.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Arthur Laughlin on behalf of Bordeaux Investments. My client owns there's 4 units in this building. 2 of the units are smaller units, which is one of the ones that my client owns. all the units in the building were assessed back in 2018. My client's unit's building value, which is the only value in dispute, is $137,000. This calculates to a square foot cost of $304. When we compared the other units in the building, the two larger units are both valued significantly less than the two smaller units. We feel that's unfair. In addition, when we checked the neighborhood for similar sized condominiums, we ranged it from, we couldn't find anything as small as 450, so all of our comps are about 550 to 750 square feet. We came up with an average of $288 per square foot. We are asking that the commission consider lowering my client's building value to $105,156, which will work out to a cost per square foot of $233, which would be equal to the same valuation of Unit 3 in the building.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hear from the assessor's office.
I don't have any of the information on the other units in that particular building, but we agree with the LTC value of 189, which is higher than the board of review of 185, so we would be willing to maintain the board of review value on this one also.
All right, thank you. Mr. Matthew?
Personally appraised the property at 1029 Barracks, Unit 2. Three sales in our report indicate a value of $189,000. That is with a land value of $48,000 and an improvement value of $141,000.
Any questions? Mr. Waxman?
Hey, my motion would be to concur with the parish board review value, setting the land at $48,000 and improvements at $137,000 for a total value of $185,000.
Commissioner Bercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. Next item is the appeal of John K. Miller versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-253.
I think this is our last one, gentlemen. Basically, we did the same analysis that we did on all the other condos. This particular condo was assessed at $484.35 a square foot. Our survey of condos in the French Quarter came up with the same number, $192 per square foot. He requested a value of $220 a square foot for his condo, and that's our presentation.
And that's for the building only.
Building only.
The assessor's office?
I have this on, marked as settled on my notes. What did the LTC come in at?
Let's see, this is docket 253?
Correct.
247,000.
We would be willing to go with the LTC appraisal at the 247,000.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Matthew?
This is appraisal 726 Barracks Street, Unit A. Three sales in our report indicate a value of the subject of $247,000, land value of $19,000, improvement value of $228,000.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Have a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Docket number 19-22172-253. Move that we adopt the board of review, the LTC staff appraisal, at $19,000 for land, $228,000 for improvements, for a total of $247,000.
Second that.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. We have two more on the docket. Is that Gallo and Trent DaCosta?
Okay. Yeah, that's the same building, 718.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the same building, 718 Frenchman Building. I mean Barracks, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 718 Barracks
Barracks,
Street.
yes.
Gallo is Unit 5.
Unit 5, correct. And basically, we made the same request for the entire building to be consistent at 192 per square foot.
How much a square foot?
192. The building ranges from 384 to 547 per square foot.
Mhm. Okay.
Same argument.
The assessor's office?
To be consistent with the other rulings on the same units in this building, we would, although we agree with the LTC value of 235, we would be willing to go with the uphold the board of review value of 228,200.
Thank you.
Patrick Matthew, Tax Commission Appraiser. This is an appraisal of 718 Barrett Street, Unit 5. Resales of our report indicate a value of $235,000 with a land of $34,700, an improvement value of $200,300.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'm ready to make a motion.
Please do.
Docket number 19-22172-259. I would make a motion that we uphold board of review value, set land at $34,700, improvement value of $193,500 for a total value of $228,200.
Second.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. Item S, the appeal of Craig Trent DaCosta versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-340.
Same building, same argument, 192 per square foot.
$192 a square
Building
foot.
only, sir.
Assessor's office?
Although the board of review did not change value, we would be willing to recommend the settlement at the LTC appraisal of $350,000.
Okay, thank you. Matthew?
This is 718 Barrett Street, Unit 7. Resales in our report indicate a value of $350,000, with a land of $49,600, improvement value of $300,400.
Thank you. Any questions? Mike's back?
Yes, my motion would be to set the value of the LTC staff appraisal, setting the land at $49,600, improvements $300,400, for a total of $350,000.
Second.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavardi?
Yes. Last item on the docket, item T, was dismissed. So that concludes our docket for today. Thank everybody for coming. There being no other matters to come before the commission at this time, I will accept the motion to adjourn.
Move adjourned.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Charles?
Yes.
Thank you for your time.